is up, everybody? It is live at lunch number 33. I can't believe it. It's amazing. It's been like a while since I posted. I am so sorry that it's been this long. So I apologize for that. But I'll explain as the live stream continues to stream and how things have been going for me and again, why I haven't been posting in a long time. So most of you know that I am a teacher and I am in my classroom right now. I have First Suite in E flat up because the preschoolers were marching around the room to First Suite in E flat. Second movement, by the way, the intermezzo. I just love that. The chaconne is pretty cool too, but the intermezzo is very nice to march to. Anyway, the preschoolers were doing that. But the reason why wasn't because of Gustav Holst. It was because I've been so busy with, hey, what's up? We got a watcher, yay! Someone's watching my stream. Anyway, but anyway, guys, the reason I haven't been posting has been I've had the junior high musical recently, and I've been doing spring concerts for both schools. It's crazy, kindergarten through fifth grade. Junior high did Aladdin Jr. You can tell I'm tired. And that wrapped last night. The kids did amazingly well. And we had to record all the dialogue because of COVID stuff. No one is at fault of that. It was actually, I was in agreement with that when we first started planning for the musical back in November. So we had decided we're going to do this particular production for Aladdin Jr. And unfortunately, because we had no idea what the mask requirements were going to be for schools, we decided, hey, we're going to pre-record the dialogue. That way, there was no fiddling around with microphones and stuff like that. But lo and behold, as spring sprung, masks and the requirements for masks in schools totally were ditched. Pretty much, for the most part. Most schools are now optional, doesn't matter where you go, at least in my state of Ohio. So that's awesome, and kids, there's some kids that still wear them, whatever, doesn't matter. There are some kids that don't, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the problem that teachers have is, we make plans and then sometimes the plans don't go to plan. So yeah, it worked out. So it looked kind of awkward a little bit, but the kids did great. They did an amazing job. So I'm proud of them. So I'm coming off of that, and I'm doing several other things behind the scenes, not YouTube related, but I can't share with you just yet, but there's some things that are going on personally. Andy is doing great. If you know my son, Andy, he's awesome. He's almost 18 months. Well, he is past 18 months. And Mrs. Gorski and I were doing, very, very good. And another reason why I haven't been posting, we all got sick in the past week and a half. No, it wasn't COVID. It was just this really weird cold. So Andy's kind of nasally, running, nose, and all that stuff. He had a fever a little bit, but Mrs. Gorski and I never caught the fever, but I did catch a cold, so I felt bad because I kind of gave it to Mrs. Gorski, and then she kind of gave it to Andy. And then we all shared it again, so it was just crazy. But the whole point of this stream is not to tell you about what's been going on in my life, but why I am pro-life and the reasoning for that. And if you don't like that, oh well. That is my theme for 2022. Oh well, it doesn't matter. If you are pro-life, great. If you're not, great. I live in America. I live in the United States. You can have whatever opinion you want. But I'm going to tell you what mine is, and if you want to debate me, go for it. But I probably will not debate you because I don't have time to debate you. Anyway, why I'm pro-life. Okay. Number one, I believe every kid can learn. That's my educational philosophy. And in my classroom, I got student athletes. I got kids that are artistic. There are kids from low-income homes, high-income homes. I got kids from different diverse backgrounds culturally. I've taught in high urban areas, low urban areas, rural areas, semi-rural areas. All that to say is, if I know every kid can learn, wouldn't I want every kid to have the same chance to learn, right? So, stepping back now, when every kid can learn, right, that's my philosophy for education, then every kid should have a chance to learn. And when it comes down to the abortion issue, if they can't even have the chance, what do you think I'm feeling, right? I feel really sad because, what would happen if someone that was in a big role that we know or maybe we appreciate, and I'm going to throw some names out there, and you may not like them or you may not, so we'll see. But what if, let's say Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Ketanji Brown Jackson, I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She's the new Supreme Court Justice. Um, Kamala Harris. How about Nancy Pelosi? How about, I don't know, trying to think of some conservative people, but my mind is blanking. Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, these conservative commentators. What if those people weren't around, right? Because their parents had chosen to do an abortion. Think about that for a second. Their impact would not be here, right? And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. You have to think about that. It's pretty impactful if they aren't here. What if you weren't here? What if you never had a chance to be born, right? There's a lot of people that you've touched in your life, and kind of think about that movie with Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life. What he had wished that he'd never been born, and then the angel shows him around like, hey, this is what would happen if you were never here, and I'm not going to ruin it for you if you've never seen it. It's a really great movie, but that's like one of the biggest pro-life movies unintentionally made for pro-life advocates, is because what would happen if you were never here? There'd be a lot of things that could go wrong, or there'd be a lot of things that no one would appreciate because of your absence. That's one of the main reasons why I'm pro-life, because I believe every kid can learn, and therefore every kid should have the chance to learn, right? Now, not everybody's on the same field when it comes to intelligence, but everybody should start at the same field, right? And then you can throw around the word equity. That is not what my philosophy is. Everybody is equal, not equitable. There's no one person or people group that's better than the other, right? But everybody is equal. I'm just as equal as the person across the street. I don't know who that person is, by the way. So yeah, and that's awesome. And I'm sorry if you're chatting. I'm going to try to avoid looking at the chat, even though it's very distracting, but I appreciate it, Robin. I really appreciate it. Anyway, though, all that to say is, yeah, so if every kid can learn, which is my philosophy, then every kid deserves a chance. That's my main reasoning. The other reason is today in our culture, discipline is like, whatever. We can do whatever we want. But I think we need to go back to not hardcore discipline when it comes to kids and parenting, but we need to understand consequences, right? So if there is an action, there's always an equal or opposite reaction. Hey, science, STEM, right? Where is that being learned in Common Core instruction? Anyway, I'm just a music teacher, guys. Come on. But stepping back, zooming out, when it comes to everything has an equal or opposite reaction to an initial action, there's no consequence, right? We can have kids and not be married and no one cares, right? That's not good. Number two, if we have kids, 1 second. Hey, sorry, sir, there's a teacher that wants to talk to me, but I'll have to have them wait in just a moment. But yeah, to sum that up, there's no consequence, and therefore, if a woman gets pregnant, oh, it's okay, we can just get rid of the kid, right? We'll just abort them. Now that's very dark, but let's be real, that's the elephant in the room. You want to talk reality? That's reality, right? There's no consequence. And unfortunately, the consequence really is at the kid. You never give the kid a chance, right? And you never give yourself a chance, because you keep buying the lie of you're going to be a bad parent, or you're going to be a bad mom or dad or whatever. So that being said, that's number two reason, is we have to have a consequence when it comes to this. If two people come together and become one flesh, like Scripture says, there's a responsibility to that, and that's to your kids. But if there's no responsibility and no consequence, it's laissez-faire. We can do whatever we want. So that's kind of the state of the union when it comes to our culture. It's very sad. So maybe you agree. I don't know if you are watching this and you agree with me. Give me a thumbs up so you can really push this video out through the algorithm. But I'll give you one more reason too, and that's because of my faith, right? So I stand with, life is sacred. And that's the third reasoning. I don't really say this right up front, right? I usually say my reasoning is every kid deserves a chance, and I'm a great example, and you are too. If you're on your phone or watching this on your computer, you had gotten the chance to live your life and do what you do now. But the third reasoning, again, going back to my faith, is because life is sacred. I'm reading through the New Testament. I'm sorry, backing up. I'm reading through the Old Testament. If you're not familiar with Scripture and you're watching this, maybe you are, I don't know, that the whole Pentateuch, I think that's Genesis through Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, like the Torah, I'm sorry, that would be like the beginning of the Old Testament, or for my Jewish friends, it's the Torah. The law of Moses is like a big deal, right? And when it comes to blood is so sacred. Before Jesus, that's how people cleansed themselves and made themselves holy, is through a blood, sacrifice of an animal or a lamb, really. And it's crazy, like, to think that. But when Jesus came, obviously we don't have to sacrifice anything anymore. He paid the ultimate price. He's the sacrifice. But blood had to be shed, right? And that's a big deal. And I don't have time to go into the theology of why that is, but you can get the idea. God made flesh, sacrificed himself for us to pay the penalty of sin so that we can come and be with him when we die and in heaven. So the reason why that's a big deal is, it's life is sacred, and every life, including babies and those who are unborn. What are we to say that we don't think this kid can make it, right? It's crazy. And in education, we preach diversity, equity, whatever that means, and inclusion, whatever that means, right? And to me, 10 years ago, inclusion was all about including people with learning disabilities. I'm totally all for that. I have kids with high needs in my classrooms. It's amazing. And they can do the things that a typical kid can do. They can. It's awesome. And, if they weren't around, I mean, there would be a huge void. So, hey, that's pretty much all I can say in 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So I appreciate you watching me babble on. And again, maybe you agree with those reasons, maybe you don't. And if you don't, and you want to debate me, great. But I probably will not respond to you. Not because I don't like you, it's because of my lack of time. And you can always reach out to me too. You can click on my channel, my title, or the channel name rather, on the bottom of the video. It'll go to my channel's homepage. Click the About tab, and you can email me if you really want to discuss it, or whatever. I will not have much time to do what I would like to do with YouTube just recently. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to post some more videos for guitar. And that's awesome. I see Blessing 15. You're learning to play guitar. Keep going. I know it's hard. It is extremely hard. When I started, it was hard for me. Thank you very much. I think the hardest thing is just making sure that you just stretch your hand out. And the way I do that, I know it's kind of weird, but just kind of expand your hands a few times, especially your left hand, if you're playing chords, and be gentle with yourself. You don't want to overexert yourself every day. If you're practicing, go at least 15, 20 minutes, bump it up to 30 minutes the next week, and then, see how far you can go. What you're really doing is you're building your endurance with your fingers. So there you go. Hey, see, I got distracted with the chat. But thanks so much for watching, guys, again, and I really appreciate it. Again, if you agree with me, great. If you disagree, great. Life goes on and we move on. So I appreciate you. I love you guys. And hey, like I said, if you really want to email me, you can. So that's in the About tab on my channel homepage. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day and God bless. Bye. Thanks.